What's up, sisters and misters? If there's even any misters watching this, who even knows? So I am in a makeshift home studio because I had taken some content this morning for something really exciting that I've just started out of the fucking blue. It wouldn't be me. It just wouldn't be Brit if I was constantly having ideas come through and then actioning them. Anyway, I will let you know my boys are home. So if they're like in and out of the video, that's why I'll do my best to edit those parts out. However, because they're happy for the moment. So this video is going to be pretty much like a life update and just to sort of cover or go through all the things, I guess, that I've been moving through over the past few months and just really like unpack some things, kind of dive into what I've learned throughout the process of all the things that I've been going through. High highs, low lows. Literally, it just wouldn't be life without the polarity. So I'm going to dive into that, and I have a couple of questions to answer. I did a question box yesterday on my Instagram and sort of just said to everybody, ask anything. So some interesting diverse questions. I think there's only a couple, but that's totally fine. So I was going to do 2 separate videos if it meant that I would have to, answer a bunch of questions, but there's only a couple. So I might just do that, like a little Q&A style thing at the end. Okay, where to begin? Let's start with 3 weeks ago. I had an absolute mental breakdown, if we can say that. I feel like it was that. I just was going through a period where it just felt like shit was piling on top of shit, and I was trying to fucking roll it in glitter to make it pretty, and it wasn't. So with that being said, there was a series of incidences that had occurred, or circumstances that had occurred in my life from Christmas last year until like a month ago. So I'm going to start and go back to December. So I'm just going to grab my phone. Excuse me. December. I don't know why, but I want to be like specific with dates. So just like hold. I can't believe it's March already, by the way. Like that's fucking insane. Okay, I'll start here because I just want to make sure the timelines are matching up. So on the 6th of December, to my absolute fucking surprise, okay, I was working. I was at a cafe. I had some breakfast. I ordered a matcha. I finished my work. I then got up because, excuse me. Wow, throat chakra. Eat your heart out. I also have apples stuck in my teeth. Like, it doesn't get any more real than this. I'm sorry. So, I was at the cafe. I then had to go and do groceries, okay? So I'm going through the supermarket and I get to the meat section and I just felt this overwhelming, nauseating feeling in my gut that I was just like looking at the meat, right? I was like, ew, like that looks disgusting. I feel sick now. And I was sick for like the rest of the time. Something came in and was like, take a pregnancy test. I'm like, I went to the aisle where they're sold. I looked at the price and I was like, there's no fucking way I'm pregnant and I'm not fucking spending that on a test. So then I keep walking. I'm just trying to like remember everything. I keep walking and I'm in the car on the way home. It's like lunchtime. Did all my groceries on the way home. Got home, started just doing some more work and tidying the house. And then again, like I get this download, like just take a test. I'm like, oh, well, fuck, like it can't hurt. I'm like a week out from my period. Every time I've been pregnant with the boys, I know really super soon, like way before I miss period. It's wild. So I'm just in tune with my body that way, and that's just how it is for me. So anyway, I take the fucking test. Not a thought in my mind was like, there's just no way. There's no way. So I was like, haha, what a waste of a fucking $30 test, right? So then I come back in, I start folding my washing. I know I'm going in circles, but we're going to get there. Come back in, I'm folding my washing. I then go back into the bathroom after about a few minutes thinking, no way, this is going to be positive. I then get positive pregnancy test times 2. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Okay, so that was on the 6th of December. No, unfortunately, this is not a pregnancy announcement. I wish that it was, but this is part of the story, okay? So I had found this out, had an absolute freak out moment because Riles and I were kind of on different pages with the whole third baby thing. Still somewhat are. It may be a possibility. We're trying to just do life right now. So I was like, oh my fucking God. I literally was shaking, felt so fucking sick, called my best friend, FaceTime her. I'm like bawling. I'm like complete shock. Like, what the fuck do you mean? So then I'm like, oh my God, I'm panicking. I don't know how to tell Rye. He's going to fall on the fucking floor. And like, I just want to point out at this point that I know online we see these beautiful announcements and I just want to reiterate that like everybody's journey is different. This can be really stressful for people, especially when it's a surprise. It can just take some time. Can just take some time to filter that through the body, okay? Especially if you're shocked and it was unexpected. As beautiful as these blessings are, right? So I was trying to pick the perfect time, even though there wasn't a fucking perfect time, to tell Riley. I waited a few days so I could just like marinate in what I was feeling, like going through my own sort of like holy fuck moments, you know, going between that and being really excited and like, holy shit, how am I going to juggle 3? And like, you know the drill if you're a mom, or you know the things that go through your head. So I come to full acceptance, and a couple of days later, because it was around Christmas, wrapped the test in a box for Riley to open. He knew straight away, and it was just as much of a shock to him as it was to me. So we had to move through some pretty hectic blockages and emotions that were present for both of us. And yeah, anyway, that's all I really want to say about that. So the next fucking day, I tell him, he's still processing that. The next fucking day, my little monster child breaks his fucking leg. So the timing of that was just not ideal. It was not ideal. So I had to call Rye the very next day while he's still in like a full process of like finding this out, you know, stressing. Like it's very common for that, you know, your finances go through your head, how much room you have, your living situation, like feeding another mouth, keeping another human alive. It's not an easy job. So I totally understood. I call him the next day at fucking 6 a.m. and I was like, so you're gonna have to meet me at the hospital because Nash has broken his leg. Thankfully he had the day off that day, but he wanted to like spend the morning to just like be in what I had shared with him. So I'm just keeping an eye on time. So that was a whole fucking ordeal. Anyway, between finding out I was pregnant and Nash breaking his leg, I was like, look, I'm actually holding this down pretty fucking well. Being that it's Christmas, I was really early in the pregnancy, of course. I now do have a better understanding of why we wait until the 3-month has, you know, passed. But I was so excited, and I think a little, I'm not sure if naive is the right word, but I was so excited to just like share my news. And being that I've had 2 kids already, I was like, I just don't want to wait. Like I want to tell our closest, like family and friends. And being that it was Christmas, like I was like, what better time? Like, what family's going to be together? Like, it just made sense to me. Anyway, so we share the news at Christmas with my auntie and cousins, my nan, my uncles, and then the following day with Riley's family. And fast forward a couple weeks later, I started bleeding. And what was really bizarre was like I just kept getting positive pregnancy tests. What they put it down to was an early pregnancy loss, which was, it was just heartbreaking. I feel like I've processed it enough now, and I've felt the depths of the emotion, which I'll get to full circle with the time that I had to have off social media because I was so numb. And of course, being triggered by, I just have such a different outlook on this now, like being triggered by other people's pregnancy announcements. You know, it was so much. It was so much. And through that process of just like also acknowledging that like I trust in divine timing, I trust in my future baby's decision to come through at specific times. Like the timing is everything. And I think like that really helped me cope, like, because I truly believe that like our babies choose their time, and as long as we're open to receive. And I think that because energetically Riles and I were actually on two different wavelengths, and the actual intention to call this baby in was not fully there, that's how I'm choosing to look at it, and that's what makes sense to me. So any loss is fucking heartbreaking. I'm still at a loss for words because it's been such a hard thing to process. And I think like in your mind, which is, it sounds fucking horrible, but you just assume that if you've had 2 healthy pregnancies before, miscarriage or early loss is just not a common thing for you. And that's where I say this sense of like naivety comes in. So please, like, don't take offense to my words. Like, I think that this is something that is more common than a lot of women think, but also, where was I going with that? Like having that empathy and sympathy and understanding that it's not always an easy process, but also on a spiritual and a soulful level, understanding that our babies literally choose us. They literally choose their time. And I just truly believe that because I believe I will one day have a girl, she wasn't ready yet. She wasn't fully ready yet, and that's okay. I trust her. I trust her timing. I trust the divine. So that was really fucking hard to go through because fuck. During that same time frame, after we told our family and friends, that same night, Christmas night, was when we lost my little arch boy. This was my teeny tiny little pom of 10 fucking years. So I feel as though I tried to, I don't know if you can see that because of the light, yeah. I tried to sort of like in the grieving process of one moment, of course. So in the grieving process of losing him, what I had sort of come to the conclusion of was like, because we found out we were pregnant, and you know, we joked about this, saying like, he left us to create space for this new baby to come through. And then when I lost him and then I lost his baby, I was just like, what fucking else? Like, what else can, like, how much can one person take? Like, I really have felt the absolute depths of grief and what that feels like. And a beautiful friend of mine said to me, like, grief is literally the other side of the spectrum of unconditional love. Like, feeling such pain for the loss of these things shows just how deeply we love. And so, as much as I'm still very much grieving, like, I think everybody's grieving process is so different, I still have all of his things. Like, I'm not ready to let go in that sense that it's like I already feel a hole in my fucking heart, literally. And it's brought us all closer as a family, but it was really fucking hard time, and I feel like I was in a place, or coming back to a place, that I had tried so hard to never get back to. And what's ironic to me is, like, it's been 10 years, right? So when I first bought my little love, I was 19, and I was in probably the darkest space of my life. I had tried to take my own life twice before I got him. And just having something to be responsible for, having something to just be by my side. Like, he honestly taught me the true meaning of unconditional love. Like, he was my baby before my babies, right? So it's been like, every damn day is so different. Like, some days I can be fine. Other days, like, I'll look at his dog bed and I'm fucking laying in it, like, bawling, you know? Like, it's just, or I think that I see him. Like, the other day, I'll share this quickly and then we can carry on. There's a little pond that he used to run up and, like, play with Archie. He's next door. He's, like, a purebred, so he's, like, full grown. His name's Chester. He used to come over. Archie used to go over there. They were like besties. And the other morning, I had, like, the side gate open, and I went to open the blinds, and Chester was standing at the door, and I literally, for a split second, I went to let him in because I thought that it was Archie. So it's just moments like that, and then you're like fucking spiraling back to square one. Like, it was beautiful to have that, like, but it's just so fucking hard. And I think, like, the lady that owns him has tried to, like, keep her distance or keep him over there, because I think, as beautiful as she is, I think she honestly knows that that's a trigger, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, so man, it was a lot. Yeah, so that was a really just shitty time, and I honestly got back to, like, a super fucking dark place within that. But I've always had that fire burning inside me. Like, even when I feel the depths of darkness and pain and not so nice thoughts, there's just this fire that burns bright inside of me that's like, you know that the answer is not to give up. You didn't come this far to come this fucking far. And at the end of the day, all of the things that I've been through and all of the pain that I've endured and all of the struggles and challenges in my life, every time I get to the other side and I reflect back, I'm just like, I got to experience that. I got to feel that. Like, grief is a really hard emotion, but it's like, we're here to feel the fullness of what life has to offer. And unfortunately, pain is one of those things. But I knew that I was completely avoiding feeling altogether. I was literally numb in my body. I was just numb. And I was snapping and I was moody and I was just like all day, like, and then like being in denial and making excuses for how that was affecting me and my mental health, and how I was like, because when you're in that, like, you're literally pretending to be okay. Like, there's more of a fear of surrendering to the pain than, you know, it is to admit that, like, you're in pain and you need to feel your shit. Like, it was just so immensely fucking painful. I didn't want to feel it. Like, in those moments, like, I don't wish that on my worst fucking enemy, and I don't even have enemies, really. So I just don't wish for anybody to go through, especially back to back to back to back. So there was that. There was all of that, and it was a lot. And then my breaking point was when this little monkey, once again, crazy wrestling situation on the boy. Like, I'm a mum of 2 boys. Like, let's be real. So they're wrestling. He falls off the bed and literally smacks the back of his head on the metal bed frame, and I just lost my mind. Not because he was hurt. Like, I, in that moment, could not fucking compose myself. And when I look back, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, it was just the thing that pushed me over the edge. Like, I literally broke down, fucking crying, hyperventilating. Haven't had a panic attack really for a very long time. And 2 weeks prior to that happening, I had one. I was actually hospitalized. I told Riley I didn't want to go to the hospital, but I literally couldn't see. I couldn't hear anything. I was in full out-of-body panic attack because I wouldn't allow myself to feel. And I think this is the perfect time to remind you that when you don't feel your shit, your body, the universe, the divine is going to fucking slow you right down, and it's going to present a situation to you where you have no fucking choice. And if that means you get sick, if that means you have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, if you will, if that means you're going to take 3 weeks off social media, like, I'm telling you, if you refuse to slow down, life will find a fucking way to slow you the fuck down. And that's what it was for me. So 2 weeks prior to that head injury, I'm in there having a fucking panic attack. I couldn't breathe. And that's crazy to me, because it's like, you know the tools, Britt. You know the tools, but it's like when the ego's in the way, and there's like always been this part of me, and I mean, I had been through a lot given, but there's always been this part of me that's like, because I've been through what I've been through in my life, there's like little me that's like, essentially gets off on that pain, like, and that want of like people to comfort me and feel bad for me and all that. So I'm very aware of what was happening. So I also had then issues with my bladder, which is interesting because the metaphysical, I was laughing with my best friend about this, even though in the moment it wasn't fucking funny, because they thought I literally had a kidney stone. But Louise Hay's book says, and like the metaphysical manifestation of what the fuck was happening to my body, angry, pissed off, holding on. Like, you think when you wee, you're releasing. We're releasing, right? So if I can't wee properly, I'm not fucking releasing. There's so much shit that I'm holding on to that creates this anger and these blockages within my fucking body. My body can't process things properly, even fucking weeing. Right? So I just want this. I might, like, because this has gone for so long, I didn't expect that. I don't know why. It's me, let's be real. But I might answer those questions, and I'll put another poll up and see if more questions come through for a Q&A in another video, and keep it really separate and just keep this as a life update. So if you've made it this far, thanks. I'm almost done though. But I just wanted to bring all of that because, yeah, that's what happens to the body. If you don't feel your, like, you don't clear out your emotional body, you don't allow yourself to feel, you avoid feeling, like, I'm telling you, there's 100 million% something physical will manifest. And like, whether it's you end up in hospital because of having a fucking panic attack and you can't wee properly, or you break your fucking foot, or something happens in order to slow you down, okay? So then 2 weeks prior to that, then I'm in hospital. Then we have to go back 2 weeks later for Nash's head to be glued back together. So I remember calling Riley that morning just in a fucking heap. Like, I was in this room. They've since moved out of this room, but I was in the room that I'm in right now, And I literally said to them, I'm watching them, I said, get off the bed. It's so dangerous. This is how Nash broke his leg. I'm trying to explain it to my 5-year-old. Off the bed. They get off the bed. I walk out of this room for like 0.5 seconds. Like not even a second was complete. Then I hear thud, screaming. I come in, he's pale. I check him over. At this point, there was no blood. I take him out to the lounge room. I'm hugging him. I sit him there, go to find his water bottle. I come back and all his head here, bright red. And he's got the blondest hair. Anybody that knows my little Nash monster, like his hair is white. So the whole back of his head looked like it'd been dyed red. And I just, first of all, I don't do blood very well. Okay, I'm a bit queasy when it comes to that shit. So I'm instantly going clemmy. And in my mind, I'm like, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. Like strong. It's about him. I'm FaceTiming her. I was like, again, in a panic, you need to come home. I can't do this. It's too much. Life's too much. Blah, blah, blah. Give it. Okay, it's valid. But I was an absolute fucking wreck. So I rush him to the hospital. Ryan meets us there. They're very good with kids. Like they're pretty quick, thankfully, but still, it's just not where the fuck you want to be. I'm just grateful for emergency medicine, truly, from the bottom of my heart. And they're always treating us fucking amazingly. But yeah, it's not my favorite place. So I think a lot for me personally as well was coming up around the system and being hospitalized with not only myself, but Nash multiple times over the few months. So being hospitalized like multiple times over those few months, like whether it was me or Nash, a lot of healing was being done around how I feel about the hospital system. And I still have very strong beliefs, but in the realm of emergency and how incredible the people that are in that profession are, it's amazing. It's amazing to witness them with all that they're dealing with in terms of patience. Like, honestly, my fucking hat goes off to them. My heart goes out to them because I could not fucking do it. So, yeah, like there was a lot of healing to be done in that regard for me as well in the terms of that space. So, yeah, and then from that day that he did that to his head, I was like, I just made the decision. I pressed pause on my business because that was taking a lot of my time and energy. I just needed to do nothing. I just needed to actually heal and feel and be with my family and cry when I needed to cry and do my housework. You know, like that was another thing. It was like I had days where I just didn't even want to get out of bed. And sometimes it's still like that. Like I think that's just how it is for me from time to time. But yeah, my focus is just to keep the vibes high and to just understand that, yes, in the moment, I probably would have punched someone if they're like, these are all lessons. Like, I know that. Not everybody wants to hear that in the moment, and I totally respect that. But coming out of it, when you're in a position to reflect, you understand. You see why these things happen. Not to you, but for you. Like, there is an element of healing in every fucking experience that we go through, every challenge that we face, every single thing that we're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I can't take this anymore. And I will always be a believer in life will only send you the things that it knows that you can fucking handle. Truly. And yeah, that's what it was for me. Like all of these things, as painful as they were to experience, like I was supposed to experience them. So yeah, my friends, I just wanted to share like a full update because I know like I haven't really shared much around it, like other than putting up a story going, I've lost this, I've lost that, like it's too much, like. And not everybody probably would have seen that either. So I just wanted to have an opportunity to like really sit down and express like what's been going on for me. And I'm very grateful because over several years, the community that I've created online and the people, bless you, baby, the people that I've attracted into my space, bless you again, has been amazing. And I think to finish this, I just want to say, like, we as a society, as a collective, rely on social media platforms so much that it's really becoming a serious detriment to our mental wealth and our overall mental wealth, mental health and overall well-being. I tried to couple the word into one. So I guess I just want to bring my lesson from that, or what I learned from that really quickly, is my mind was clear, right? My libido came back. Like, I was struggling prior to that with not only mood swings, like zero fucking patience for anything. I wasn't getting my house chores done. Okay, I was barely spending time with my kids. Like, the amount of shit I was avoiding, I can't even tell you. And then because I was avoiding it, then that like guilt came in, and I'm like feeling guilty for not cleaning the fucking house, feeling guilty for not being with my kids, you know, all this guilt. And then that came with shame. So it was just like I said, piling shit on top of shit and trying to like pretend like everything's okay. And I think as well a bit of like imposter syndrome coming in, going, because this is what I preach in the online space, like I'm not embodied in this right now. I'm not embodied. However, I was deep in the work. So it's just been nice to not share like every aspect of my life, and as much as that is so important for me to do, because I feel like that's part of my mission here, is to express this and, you know, be so fucking real and raw and open and vulnerable, so that shows other people I'm human, you're human. It reflects that back to you, you know, and gives you permission to do the same and to move through your shit and to face your demons and to be okay to like dive into the dark, you know, and know for a fact that you're going to come out the other side, you know. So yeah, moving forward, like I now have this new understanding that it's like I don't actually need social media to be creative. I don't need it for business. Like, it's a great fucking tool, but I'm so grateful that I've learned other skills in other ways and have implemented them in order to be able to still do business on or off these platforms, you know? So even if you're not in business and you don't use them for that, I think taking time off and just being in life and the present moment is fucking it. Bringing yourself back over and over and over again, not thinking to yourself, I have to post this. Like, how can you just sit in it? You know, how can you marinate in it? And that was the most beautiful thing about, I'll do a whole other YouTube about my engagement as well, because that lifted me all the way the fuck back up. But where was I going with that? Damn. Where was I going with that? Yeah, that's right. So I was able to just be in that energy with my man. Like, I didn't share that for like, I think it was a couple of weeks. And after, well, I've only just shared it. So yeah, I was off for a long time, and that happened on the 22nd of the 2nd. So it was a couple of weeks for us just to be in that love bubble and not share it really with anybody other than our close family and friends. Like, that was something else for me, to just go, oh my God, I don't owe anything to anybody. I don't have to show up online if I don't want to, as much as I love to, you know, but when it feels right, when it feels true, not because I feel like I have this false story of like obligation, you know. And I love what comes through when people say, oh my God, like I've missed your face here. I've missed your energy here. Like, I love that you're back, you know. That's beautiful, because in a positive way, that's what I love. That's what I crave, is the connection, the community. And as harmful as these apps can be, they've also created a new realm of connection. And that, like, I'm truly deeply grateful for. Okay, my loves, sisters and misters, if you made it all the way through this video, thank you. You're a real one. Thanks for just moving through these journeys with me. I'm set to continue to upload to YouTube. I'm really feeling the long form content. I'm loving these little sit down life update chit chats, Q&As. Like, that style of content is really like calling for me at the moment, rather than the short form, lack of attention span kind of content. So make sure if you're here, you go ahead and you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I've got a few videos coming that I'm going to tell my engagement story. Yeah. And also Q&A. So stay tuned for those videos, and I'm going to drop in the description below. If you don't follow me on socials, I'll put my social links below: Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok. And what else? My website. So you can find me any of those ways. And that's that. Thanks for being here, friends. I love and appreciate every single one of you, especially those that have come over from the gram. Thanks for being a part of my online space. I'm truly, truly, truly grateful. And I love that I can pave a new path and lead the way for many. So thanks for allowing me to do that. Big love.